Hey everyone, so it's time for another update on Jasper's plucking. So like I said in my last video, I brought him to the vet again, so it's been about 2 weeks now. And we did a bunch of tests on him, which cost over $500. So thank you again to everyone who donated to his GoFundMe. This entire appointment was paid for by those funds, so it was really helpful. We've been able to rule out more things, which is great. So we did a gram stain, which basically shows that he does not have a fungal or a yeast infection in his body. So that's great. We did another calcium test. So he does have low calcium. He's basically had that his whole life, but it's unrelated to plucking, so still supplementing him for that. And the other test we did was a full x-ray of his body. So sometimes parrots unfortunately eat things that they're not supposed to, which can lead to heavy metal toxicity and so forth. But we ruled out anything related to that. He's completely healthy, which is great. And according to Jasper's vet, he has big birdie balls. So it explains why he's ultra hormonal and has lots of testosterone. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. He's a male Eclectus and he's in captivity. So at this point, because I've been able to rule out any type of disease or problem inside of him, it basically means he is a hormonal plucker. So I've been doing lots of reading about that, and I want to say thank you to Gary from Australia for sending me this book by Dr. Marshall. I mentioned this vet in my last video, so thank you, Gary. This book has been incredibly helpful. If you are an Eclectus owner, I highly recommend it. I've only read about half of it so far, and I've learned a lot, and specifically about hormones and how males in captivity have hypersexuality issues, and even if they have a mate, because most people will say, well, just get him a girlfriend. The problem is Jasper thinks I'm his mate. So even if I brought in 30 female Eclectuses, he wouldn't care. So it is a problem, unfortunately, in captivity. And according to Dr. Marshall, even if the male in captivity is breeding with a female Eclectus, he can still be sexually frustrated. And when the nest box is removed, he can start plucking out of frustration. So at this point, diagnosis is he is a hormonal plucker, and hormones also lead to dry skin, which he has, and I talked about in my other video. So they go hand in hand. So the good thing is, he's healthy, he doesn't have an illness, he's not dying, but hormones are kind of wreaking havoc on his system. So the only way, when he's frustrated, is to take it out on himself, which is, plucking the blood feathers like I've talked about. So he still only does it at night, which is kind of strange, but I think every parrot is different. Some people's parrots pluck through the day and night, some only through the day. So Jasper just happens to be a nighttime plucker. So right now, you've probably noticed it's very quiet in here. He's normally talking in my videos behind me. Jasper is away right now for the week, so but he's in some very capable hands of an expert who's helping me with him. I won't go into too many details right now. They probably want to remain anonymous, but basically, he's in Ontario, about 3 hours away, and I'll see him next week. So this person is helping me create a plan for Jasper. So likely, he will have to wear a collar every night, so he doesn't pluck through the night. And one of the big issues with collars, when you live alone, you can't have someone to help towel and put on the collar, which has kind of been a hurdle when I tried to collar him before. So hopefully this person will be able to help. And Jasper just needs to go through the night without obviously plucking his feathers, so they can have a chance to regrow. So he, up until yesterday when he left, he was still plucking up to about 8 feathers, 10 feathers a night. And he is more bare now than he was before. I'm hoping that his feathers, when he's collared, will be able to grow back. The problem is, like, our hair, if you pluck the same hair in the same spot over and over again, you eventually destroy the follicles. So I'm hoping that he hasn't destroyed all of his feather follicles and they'll be able to grow back. So that's basically where I'm at now. I miss him terribly, and it is so quiet in here. Anybody that has a parrot or any type of very vocal pet will understand. I feel like half of me is gone right now, but I know he is in the hands of an expert and being taken extremely well care of. So when I get him back, I'll do another update, but I'm hoping that all of these videos have at least maybe helped some of you who also have had a parrot that's plucking and you've gone through all these testing and you still can't figure it out. So more than likely it is hormone related, at least in Jasper's case. So I'm going to continue working with him and hopefully get those feathers to grow back. Thank you for following his journey with me, and again, to everyone who donated to help pay for all of these appointments, you've been wonderful. Talk to you soon.